I would request Shukla ji to take the dais and discuss further, and I would like.
A very useful, enlightening session has been going on. The book has been released by Khanduri Sahab. The discussion which has taken place is quite enlightening, and the real issue of power sector has also been underlined. The development talk which is going on has to be fully supported by power development. The power potential which is existing in the country, the historical background of its enhancement, the possibilities, how to accelerate it, all those things have been touched. One thing has come out very clearly when we talk about climate change, the conditions being imposed by developed countries, about the renewable energy obligations. The emphasis is there to develop it faster and faster, and therefore the targets have been revised. We have seen the missing targets of 9th 5-year plan, 10th 5-year plan, 11th 5-year plan, when we even did not meet 50% of the originally set target in this country. And from that time, today we have now thought of putting 1100 billion units to be generated. That type of thinking which has been forwarded. Now that generation has to come up mostly from public sector, from state sector, something like 450 billion unit from public sectors, another some 400 billion units from state sector, and rest from others. A massive plan has been outlaid for development of renewable energy in the coming years. These arrangements are there in the budget, which has been laid out in this session, in the preceding session. Now, if we look at the entire scenario, we have to analyze one thing. For development of that type of power sector, we need to have a better control, much efficient control in the manufacturing sector. This manufacturing sector, if we look at, we find it is still sluggish, not able to move further in that direction, and not achieving that sort of result which is required. If we come out from the other miseries of clearances of the projects, and if we focus for the commissioning of the projects, the equipments are required. Those equipments are still inadequate to reach. And if we look at the entire volume of development, when we talk about 1 lakh megawatt addition, the corresponding equipment have to be manufactured in a time frame, in a time schedule, and those are to be properly erected and then commissioned. The entire process, if is to be analyzed, we find many drawbacks in the system, and those things are required to be improved upon. This type of discussion will remain incomplete until we look into that aspect, and therefore Make in India has to be inclusive of this aspect as well. We have to have that type of potential where we can generate the equipments for our own use first, in the time frame what we decide. When we say the project is languishing, it is not reaching to conclusion, not getting commissioned, you leave us out other type of problems. Biggest problem we'll face is the availability of the equipment, the type of technology. Many things are still being imported, and then something is being added up as value addition here and pushed through the projects. All those things are to be brought into the ambit of Indian manufacturers, and there we need to have a bigger role of private sector as well, public sector as well, and they all have to contribute. So that's a type of thinking has to be brought in. Thank you.
You know, we have V.K. Gargji amongst us. I would request Garg Sahab to come on the dais. V.K. Garg was the former chairman of the Power Finance, and this is many forums he has come, and we would like to have him now. We will be discussing the union budget after this, but before that, I would like to say something more on the book. I would like, and may I have also Murugesan on the top. N. Murugesan, please, Wango sir. As you know, Murugesan ji was the director of CPRI, and he literally has transformed 3 awards they won in a row for being the best institution in the country. Because the power sector is very difficult. Again, high voltage testing, this country does not have the capacity to test high voltage equipment. That capacity has come today. We are at the 1200 kV, we are ahead of China. China is at 1000 kV levels. We are at 1200 kV, and I think we are in the top 4 country in terms of analysis of power grid when you talk about. So we should feel proud about that. Of course, we have transmission bottlenecks. This is the kind of situation that we are in, And I would say, see, today's time was not electricity alone, because my chapter number 9 is on electricity. But it is a deadly chapter, The point I'm making today is we have a per capita consumption of 925 units. And I told you China is 3,500 units. GDP of China is 9.8 trillion roughly US dollar, and we are at 2 trillion US dollar. Of course, there is a problem not declared, which most forums we don't talk. The inherent, not the intrinsic dark economy or the black economy. So there must be some innovative thinking on that, and I'm trying to write something on that. Because see, you catch hold and jail people, there is a process, and then you go through that, it will not fetch you anything. You need to have some innovation in getting. So I think if they tackle the internal black money, like the budget has tackled the external black money, which is very difficult, because what is not in our hand to bring it is, I tell you, it's a very big, difficult game. But what is inside, if we correct it, I tell you, this GDP would have looked at least 6 or 7 trillion US dollar hours. So that also is a mismatch. But what I am giving is the official figure of the $2 trillion GDP and 925 units. So if I factor it a little bit, I would say if another 1 trillion could have come, or 2 trillion by some means, then probably our energy efficiency or the consumption of energy and electricity per unit of GDP, India is much ahead of China. I can assure you that. But where we fail, the reality is infrastructure. We fail badly in infrastructure, and that is where Vajpayee ji did a wonderful job when I said that he opened the arteries of India through the Golden Quadrilateral, because he felt that the meeting was like this, that he said, if we cannot give anything to the people, at least let us allow people to move freely. It was such a simple thought, because of which the Golden Quadrilateral came up. And we were just discussing about in month of February at the Mahakanami Awards in Gujarat, the DMIC corridor, it is also part of my book. In fact, it's very interesting. I want to tell you in this book, many chapters, 60, 61, 62 talks about Vajpayee's contribution. Other than that, you must go through the chapter number 9 for sure on electricity, so that you understand why I'm saying energy sustainability, and why we are saying that energy security sustainability is important, and most important, energy access. I was just with this, Tarun Kapoor Sahab was here. I was just discussing with these people in MNR and others. I saw that people are advising that we have only, sir, wo demand nahi hai. There is no demand for electricity. I was shocked. How it is not possible? Then I requested the Secretary MNRE, sir, ye to baat aisi nahi discuss honi chahiye, we should not send such information to the Prime Minister. But they said, sir, Professor, I know what you're saying. You guys can do it, because he almost told that you are media and you can do it. But we have a limitation, we have to say this, And I think that kind of report must have gone. We only need 150 gigawatt. I'm telling you, we have a 250, 260 gigawatt installed capacity today. Last 2014-15, we produced out of that only 150 gigawatt. So 100 gigawatt तो हमने यूज ही नहीं किया. सबसे पहले सवाल वही उठाइए. उससे पहले के ईयर में क्या हुआ? 133 gigawatt. These are not my figures. CA itself accepts the figure. And then they end up satisfying themselves saying there is no demand. And the worst part is, Prasad Saab was here, he comes back, 495 megawatt electricity access we are giving to people of Bihar, population of 10.8 crores. The state where I today live, Maharashtra, has 11.8 crores people and we have 30 gigawatt access. The state of Gujarat has a population of 6.5 crores and it gives access to electricity of about 29 gigawatts. See the mismatch here. This absolute mismatch, and I do not know why people are not, and no television discussion goes into this. Every day, India at 9 goes in, all the channels open up, including, whether I should name or not, I don't know why a top media like even Times does not give the 1 hour, even in, I will tell you, in a month or two to this topic. And every time the topic is something else. You know, and I'm not against the topics that they're taking, but do they really change the destiny of the country? That is my question. You know, if you don't give energy access to our people, that will actually destroy their destiny. A young child in Bihar, if he cannot study, then what do you expect the state to bring up? You know, and okay, we can say the politicians and all this will keep coming. That's what Khanduri Sahab was telling you. Can we have an action zone, you know, where we say, okay, ye to ab nahi rahega aise. This will not continue. So those kind of things have to be taken out of this book. You know, we made our attempt in 2003, 2004 itself. Timeline was correct because I thought 2012 and that topic was different. We said India brandished, branding of a nation. So branding, what he rightly said, that was the topic of the earlier book. Till 2009, my byline was that. Now the byline changed, superpowering brand India, because that whole target has changed. अब तो superpowering ही करना है. इससे कम हम करेंगे तो we are not fit, you know, to be there. You cannot run a 100 meters race at 16 seconds and expect not to be pulverized by everybody. You know, you have to run that 100 meters in 9 seconds or 9.5 seconds today to be a world champ. You know, so the race is there, you know, and we cannot give any leverage in this, you know. It has to be that standard. You have to run for that. You have no other chance to get there. You can't say that I'll put up the stuff, I do a high jump and I have a jump of 6 feet and whatever it is. But if it is 8 feet, then you have to do. I always say that we are all in a Sergey Bubka, the famous pole vaulter, who did, you know. The pole vaulter had no challenge, I tell you. Sergey had no challenge. And I think his, I would say, the female side of the pole vaulting was our friend Isan Baeva. So if you look at these two athletes, which I don't know, you're not following, but go to Twitter, go to Facebook and find out what these two ladies, the lady and the gent did. Pole vault is difficult. So when they vaulted, they had to kill their own competition. That was their mind. That little 1 inch that they had to put up was their own challenge. You know, they had to jump that little 1 inch extra. And every time, I think 10 years was a record, a decade, that Sergey ruled the pole vault. And after I think he went out, for another 6 years, his record was not broken. So this is an example of setting benchmarks. And if you know other competition, you are your own competition. It's in your mind. And this example of sports can come in. And I remember, if we want to say that our Prime Minister Modi ji is doing certain things, and definitely I'm saying we must be very critical about governance and government down the line. But the Prime Minister has definitely come the hard way and he has sat there and rightly he has come there. But I don't think we have any reason to say stay quiet if some ministry and some people are not doing well. We don't have to be yes men. And that is precisely the point. If we go, we have met so many times for power, on infrastructure and key issues, and so many issues we have worked here. And these forums have been different. So same way, if this budget is not implemented like the 2013 budget, then whatever I am saying today is a path-breaking budget, it will not be path-breaking, it will break the path. So let us not break the path. Let us go forward. So then I said, how much this district pays? Because I was talking in the municipal corporation for decentralized solar for them. Of course, it never came up because there are some forces who did not want that to happen. That's a different issue. But when I talked, he was telling it's very difficult because everybody does not get together. I said, why? I said, how much tax you pay? We are the highest tax paying town in the country. Shivakashi makes crackers and makes printing. We all know that. 2,000 crores that town pays. Now it is 4,000 crores. They'll go close to $1 billion. Nobody violates tax payment. Nobody, not one home, not one person. Women most of them are masters in the district. Now, such a district, was unable to come together and do something for water. 400 feet below they go, that place also. Now we further go down, you come to Maharashtra, it is anywhere between 120 feet to 200 feet. In most of, see you go to the regions like Marathwada and all and past area, and I don't have to mention because it's not a forum, what our minister, one of the minister told when they said dam mein pani nahi hai. So what type of nonsense they said, you know. So we don't have to comment on that. But this is the type of, not only empathy, I tell you, we are telling our citizens, you're discarded, boss. You're a nobody. During elections, I want you. After that, I don't want you. So this is the type of message that we have given to our people. So I think this type of message is not to be given. So this book's attempt is to give a different message. It says the branding of India cannot be accomplished without every Indian being a part of it. So that's why the word is very peculiar, brandished. You know, you brandish a sword. Actually, the word is always brandishing a sword. But today you brandish intellectual capital. Today you don't pick up a sword, you brandish intellectual capital, you brandish strategy, you brandish love for the nation. Not only that, you brandish love for thy neighbor. I will give you the example, which also is in this book, of SARC. I tell you, I'm so fond that I wrote to Modi ji that we must never follow United States of America, we must follow Bhutan. May 2014, that was the cover piece, that you must visit Bhutan. And he visited. Bhutan and Nepal was the thing that we wrote. It all went fine. But right now, he is with Merkel in Germany, it's fine. But I'm telling you what's going to happen. Today, whole of Europe, 2011 we had assessed this. I was on a visit with my colleague, Hetal is not here. We said everything is over, you know, for Europe at that point of time. They have huge manufacturing facility lying idle. I'm telling you, they don't have jobs with qualification. That's the situation. And only Germany is holding on to Euro today. So the chapter on the EU is a very important chapter because I put faith on that. The faith is remaining because Germany and France. The rest of them have lost faith. And these two people had stronger currencies, the French francs and the Deutschmarks, which went and built the euro. But they are the ones who have suffered. But the maximum, I tell you, flack is being received by Germany and this. Because Greece, which had to pay about $500 billion out of $500 billion they owe, my God, they did not pay recently one of their EMIs as a country. So we are dealing with them, and when you go to, I don't think Angela will come for another election. She was my most favorite leader of Germany, but her face is over. So when Modi Sahib is going, he is meeting her in an over face, because she will get the flack in the next elections, because obviously Germans are now not going to sacrifice and they want to do something. So if Make in India has to come, the Germans will only bring technology. Where is the money going to come? Answer is there. The three countries that have capital today, who are very strong on capital, we must have no qualms about this. The richest one of them is United States of America. They may be talking whatever they are talking, they may be, but their economy is the best. Only thing is we have to get the money out of their pocket, because this is in Ricardian principle. Because when David Ricardo in 60s went through comparative advantage model, you know, the competitive advantage model later on came from Michael Porter. And Porter did a disservice also in that, although I appreciate him for his financials theory and all that. But the problem was Porter was like, I'm driving, I'm giving the Maharashtra example, we drive to the beautiful place Lonavala from Mumbai. On the way there were no signboards, so I actually, instead of reaching Lonavala, I reached some kind of a stupid corner, because now I cannot come back. So it's a diversion, right? Because you cannot get competitive advantage without comparing. So a derivative was brought forward, and it was still competitive advantage. Everybody works for competition. Nobody works for competition. Everybody has to compare how to do it better. Somebody else will show a better way of doing it. Even if people start something in a unique way, then somebody else can be coming later on and may show a better method of doing it. You know, like Flipkart is the best example. It's showing Amazon what to be done. You know, there are many, many examples like this, and we are living in hyper-competitive age. This is not my word. Hyper-competition is my friend Richard Davini, 7th best strategic management guru in the United States, teaches at Amos Tech University. But there is no discussion of hyper-competition in any of our universities. So what we do, we take only our Harvard and Stanford, उसके बाद हमारी दुकान बंद हो जाती है. Cambridge, Oxford दुकान बंद हो जाती है. What Dartmouth is doing, where less number of students are brought, we will not see. So these are the things that we have to, I'm not saying import. And what about India? If the color of anybody intelligent speaking to you is an Indian color, I tell you the biggest bias in the mind is never to have that thought. Most good management education and technical education has come from India. I tell you, most of our PSUs, people, if they come to teaching, दे विल डू ह्यूमन सर्विस. बट हमारी AICTE आके बोलेगी कि भाई भाई आपके पास कितने प्रोफेसर हैं फुल टाइम, कितने PhD कितने हैं. भाई यू डोंट नीड ओनली दोस बिकॉज दे कैन डू देयर PhD. बाल की खाल निकालो चलेगा, लेकिन व्हाट इज हाउ मेनी पेटेंट्स यू ब्रॉट, हाउ मेनी प्रोडक्ट्स यू ब्रॉट इन दिस कंट्री, लेट अस टॉक टू देम. अब वो भी पेटेंट का भी वो लफड़ा होने लगा. आई वेंट टू यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स and I went to Canada where Modi Sahab is there. 2011 as a journalist they sponsored me, the Canadian government, and I don't have Saroj Mishra today, otherwise I would have spoken more on that. When I went to 3 universities, the British Columbia, the Alberta, and I saw that Indians only were doing the nanotechnology research. Then another thing, they invented phenylsilane, a tinning material which had 29% solar efficiency. I went and told the government, but nobody has come to bring the university technology to India and advance the efficiency of solar. यहाँ इतनी मुश्किल है कि 2 यूनिवर्सिटीज अपने आप बात करके लेटर नहीं लिख सकती और वो नहीं ले सकती, हमें उसको ले लेना चाहिए प्रोप्राइटरी. ये नहीं करते हैं. What we do, everybody works on patent, and today patent situation is so bad, I tell you, of the thousands of patents that come in, not even 2% are commercialized. So it has become patent squatting regime worldwide. अब हमारे फार्मर, वो पंजाब के फार्मर 12 साल से नए नए सीड बना रहे हैं कि कोई गया, पता चल गया, वहां चला गया, बोला हम ये पेटेंट हमारा हो गया. अरे भाई, दिस इज द धरोहर की नॉलेज, दिस इज द ओल्ड नॉलेज ऑफ दोस फार्मर्स. उनको पहले तो PhD दे दो. अब नया एक यूनिवर्सिटी चालू करना चाहिए विदाउट यूनिवर्सिटी, दैट इन दिस कंट्री वी शुड गिव फार्मर्स डॉक्टरेट ऑटोमेटिकली. मतलब एक इंटेलेक्चुअल्स और नॉन पॉलिटिकल और नॉन एकदम बिल्कुल न्यूट्रल बॉडी बनाए, जहां पर एजुकेशन की बॉडी हो, जो फार्मर्स को डायरेक्ट डॉक्टरेट दे दे जिनको नॉलेज है. भाई उनकी यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ लाइफ है. If we don't recognize these things, I'm telling you, we will never build this India brand which we are talking about. All this is there in the part, 100 pages only, my friends. Please take time to read chapters you like. Come back to me. Tell me, like Santosh says, ki wherever you don't agree, please come back, because we have been also at times we have said called a spade kind of model. So because we can't waste the time on just going around in circles, we have to go straight, and but to work, and that is the only way we can come forward. And this is doing its 4th round. I tell you, this book is not exactly sold. It has a perception price. I gift it to a lot of people. Some people buy it, but I never lost money in the book. So that's why it's coming to its 4th round. So that's the way I will give this. I will not do it in any other way than I know. That it reached its 4th round, it will reach its 5th round also अपने आप ही. उसका time आएगा. So for any money, I just give the book. जिसको देना हो दे देगा, जिसको नहीं देना कोई. People have come forward. Institutions have just said, sir, we want 100 copies. Check भेज देते हैं, तो वो कर देंगे. वो अपने आप उसका पैसा निकल जाएगा. तो it's all fine. It's a perception price. So don't think you 500 रुपए लेके गए हैं, तो मैं बता रहा हूँ उसकी वैल्यू 500 नहीं, पता नहीं कितनी होगी, कितनी करोड़ होगी अगर कोई इम्प्लीमेंट कर ले तो उसको. तो प्लीज काइंडली, बिकॉज frankly it has no worth. According to me, financial worth is no worth. क्योंकि we better marry Lakshmi. सरस्वती. लक्ष्मी विल कम ऑटोमेटिकली, है ना. वो बोलते ना 1 पे 1 है वो सिचुएशन आज वर्ल्ड में. क्योंकि क्या है, सरस्वती इज व्हाट वी आर नॉट लुकिंग एट. वी आर नॉट वैल्यूइंग सरस्वती. वी आर गॉन आफ्टर द whole thing ki bhaiya only money is the game. Money is not the game. Money is a disaster, because if it is there with people like Mahathir Mohamad, I have written about him. These are the leaders that come in. Mahathir Mohamad was famously said, we are a first world country with a third world mentality, in a National Day speech. And why he said that? He said, you all want to become constructors, you want to build some shops, you want to build some this thing, and tum kuch construction kar doge, kuch cement use kar loge, cement, but nobody wants to export. So that is how they started the titles, Dato Siri and all that in their country. They put long titles in front of people. So those who export are given the highest title next to the people on the chair. So we must bring such models. I think we must learn from Mahathir Mohamad's psychology. Today, the 2 countries that I respect is, Malaysia and Indonesia. Indonesia, my God, Jokowi, who has come, is popularly called as, but none of the other Islam, which is in Asia, even the Pakistan thing, has got anything to do with terrorism. So the keep importing, because it helps to suppress a large majority of people. And then that is what. I will tell you one interesting thing. I am part of that Gateway Foundation, which actually meets regularly in Bombay, and there is Ambassador Neelam there, and I met Abdul Basit. And there was also this Meera Sanyal from the Aam Aadmi Party. So that day, that was 2013, I said, Modi ji hi banenge Pradhan Mantri. Because unfortunately or fortunately, August 2013 cover of Mark Economy said Modi will be next Prime Minister. So very funny, everybody said, आपको कैसे पता चल गया? मैं कोई ना इंसाइडर हूँ गवर्नमेंट का ना कुछ हूँ. मैंने एक एनालिसिस करके कवर पे लिखा और हरकुलिस की पिक्चर बनाई. I gave the visualization to our designer and also Mathan and my other guys. They put up Modi ji's face on the Hercules holding the Atlas and things like that situation. मैंने कहा ये हालत होगी इनकी. And 2013 cover, any time I can bring that cover back, and I put it many times. And September 2013, you will remember, was the time then he was declared the candidate as Prime Minister. This was done by us. So it is not, it's not some fluke or something. We were already seeing what's happening, right? That was the only way. And he was the man destined to sit there. But will he be successful? What he will do? Will he transform India? I'm telling you, even 5 years of Vajpayee like this thing will be 50 years of success. That is the type of Niswarth Bhav with which everybody has to work, whether it's Modi ji or anybody. So this book has mentioned about so many things that he has said he wants to implement. If he does, I'm telling you what he does. Like yesterday, one gentleman at the India, one of my solar friends said, अगर 50 gigawatt भी solar के हो जाते तो भी successful है. And Arora साहब will vouch for that. We made that white paper for 50 gigawatt solar by 2022. It has been upped as 100 gigawatt. It was a white paper from Renewable Energy Promotion Association. And we gave the highest green energy commitment also. Only very few members, 200, 300 members could not generate commitment. Here 25 members did better job of committing to the Prime Minister. 3 of my companies, Sun Edison, Gamesa, Spain, and US you see here. And third one was an Indian company, Green Billions. Together did 30 gigawatt. So we didn't tom-tom, we just wrote to the Prime Minister, this is the reality. So it is important to go and ensure. After the commitment, now the most important issue that we are working on is कि भाई land bank. अभी हुआ क्या है कि the coal issues and other issues, environmental issues, we have talked of land bank. But ये land bank acquisition अगर government बोलती है किसी तरह से कोई advice दे रहा है कि सरकार नहीं होगी acquisition में, मैं आपको बोलता हूँ कि land bank acquire कर ही नहीं पाएंगे. और लैंड बैंक सोलर में 5 एकड़ जमीन चाहिए आपको पर मेगावाट. वी शुड नॉट हैव एनी रॉन्ग थिंकिंग हियर इन आवर हेड. अगर हमें ये करना है, अब दूसरा स्ट्रेटजी है कि आप सारा रूफटॉप पॉलिसी इंस्टेंटली लाइए ऑन वॉर फुटिंग. तो ये दोनों आई थिंक मोदी साहब विल नो, बट आई थिंक आई एम जनरेटिंग काइंड ऑफ अ डॉक्यूमेंट which can come on the problems and challenges of developing this 100 gigawatt and implementing the 266 gigawatt of commitment, the road show that happened at the Reinvest. You know, all came, everybody came. Because I was drinking tea, I talked to all these foreigners. Believe me, I'm sorry, I'm not naming them. None of them were very keen to invest. Then I said, why you are here? Body language, one of them I asked. He said, no, we want to be part of it. By part of it as what? ये पैसा आएगा कैसे? It is 6 crores per megawatt. We need 6 lakh crores for 100,000 megawatt. 6 lakh crore, 6 lakh crore आपको चाहिए, means $116 billion. आज के इसमें $100 billion. ओबामा जी आए, मैं तो ये अभी लिख दिया हूं प्रधानमंत्री को. ओबामा जी आया, बोला $2 billion देगा. अरे भाई तेरी कौन सी क्लीन एनर्जी कमिटमेंट है जो 2 billion बोल रहा है मोदी को? मतलब मोदी is talking 100 billion, you are coming and talking 2 billion, and right at our Republic Day. So that I think we have to call a spade a spade. Then he goes and writes an article in some New York Times. You know, Narendra, he is writing. You know, it's good. He called him Barack, that is fine. But this man is at the end. Modi is on the rise. Barack Obama will not become president of America again. He will be in the barracks. Sorry. So this part has to be seen. They must know what they are talking. They did this with everybody. I'm not talking of politics here. Even with the Congress or any government that has gone, they have done this. They have promised. See, nuclear deal. When Bush had a lot of this thing for Prime Minister Manmohan Singh, he had personal friendship. So he went ahead. नहीं तो पहले क्या था? Glenn Amendment चल रहा था. I remember the US Republicans, and I was with R.K. Pachauri. Not R.K. Pachauri. I'm sorry, took a wrong name. I took Pankaj Pachauri. He became the former. He was the former media advisor, and he was running a program on NDTV Profit called Money Mantra. मैं 3 बार आया उस प्रोग्राम में, and one was on nuclear. I forced him. I told him मैंने रिपोर्ट बनाई है आप. पंकज जी बोले ठीक है यार साहब इस पे तो करेंगे, थोड़ा मेरे को समझाइए. I went to his office, explained the topic to him, and then there were 3 people sitting in that, and it is there on my YouTube. Go to Infra TV, www.youtube.com/InfraTV. You'll get all my videos. It is there. I put it for posterity. It was Glenn Amendment, and a guy called, a gentleman one gentleman called Tiwari from the US Republicans, who were Indian Republicans of the US, was part of that. वो इतना फ्रस्ट्रेट हो गए पूरी, कहते हैं ये सारा का सारा मामला ऊर्जा की तरफ लिया जा रहा है, न्यूक्लियर का. He was criticizing that I took the matter to nuclear and that ऊर्जा के ऊपर गया. Remember what is happening now between the Modi Obama getting on tango on the nuclear, because exactly that's what the Prime Minister understands, that he has to do nuclear energy. Without nuclear we cannot do anything, because while Prasad Saab is right that hydro has to be done, I'm very clear nuclear is a renewable energy. Nuclear में कोई भी एक, there is no carbon in nuclear. Let us not confuse two arguments. And why I bring this argument back, the great Homi Bhabha, who was then picked up by none other than Nehru, he said that we will not go for open cycle reactors. And believe me, he has never been given a Bharat Ratna till now. Another man is Vikram Sarabhai. I know Bharat Ratna. I think I will tell Modi ji's government to also consider these gentlemen in the next 5 years. एक के दो देने में कोई बुराई नहीं है. किसी के साथ गलत किया गया तो ज्यादा भारत रत्न दे दो यार, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता, कुछ नहीं होगा, उसका उल्टा कैलिबर ही बढ़ेगा. और हुआ क्या है, होमी बाबा disagreed with Americans. They were never happy because his principle was, when you go to open cycle reactors, the nuclear stockpiling will grow, and exactly that has happened. The war is between now Russia and US, because now they are destroying their stockpiles. And what did India do? Homi Bhabha's vision has come right across in the fast breeder reactor. Yeah? Oh, that I know, that I understand. But the FBR, fast breeder reactor tha, that today has become reality. Kalpakam will become the first commercially operated fast breeder reactor in the world. And power is going to produce less than 2 rupees 50 paisa, my friends. So let us not kill our nuclear scientists. I'm telling you, you send a nuclear scientist and ask him to cross this road in the front. उसको ऐसे लगेगा कि आपने उसको सूली पे चढ़ा दिया है. That is the way they do, because they don't know how to cross a road. But you tell them to think of nuclear physics, think of isotopes, they'll do wonders. So you should understand, that's why they get protected environment. So we are actually decimating our scientists, talking negative. An engineer does something, he should be jailed. योगेंद्र प्रसाद से मैं सही कह रहा हूँ कि इंजीनियर को पहले लॉयर को जेल करके दिखाइए आप. To attempt to jail even a small street side lawyer, or forget about it, try to touch a journalist on the street. What happens देखो आप, सबकी लॉबी है, लेकिन इन बेचारों की कोई लॉबी नहीं है, इंजीनियर्स की कोई लॉबी नहीं है, उनकी कोई मतलब औकात ही नहीं है, मतलब they are not seen, and whatever they build, our engineers, today I went to Bhutan, I was in Mangdechu, I call it my hydro pilgrimage and engineering pilgrimage of a lifetime, because I traveled in deadly roads, and those roads we have blockages, literally. I've done this before, but this was a deadly trip, and this was this recent month of March end, and 12 hours was the total journey, in which 1.5 hours we would have gone down for lunch. Balance time we were in the vehicle. Going from Thimphu into the Bumtang Valley, crossed 4 passes, tallest passes in the world. And I do not know how we will send equipment, material and all. So India is doing yeoman service. And the 2 engineers finally I met over there, one was Paul, who was from ex-Kerala State Electricity Board guy, who was building the powerhouse at Mangdechu. And the other was a Bhutanese engineer who was actually from the Ministry of Economic Affairs, who studied in India, and he was fond of India, doing the dam. उनको क्या लगा कि ये अय्यर साहब थोड़े stout लगते हैं. He said, Professor, we are going to walk through the dam. I said, okay, no problem. Damn it, we'll do it. So they took us. 3 hours, we both were there. After that, that engineer was very tired. He took us for the lunch. मैंने कहा, we have to travel now back another 12 hours. He said, sir, I salute you. I thought, it will be, difficult, but I thought it will be good experience for you. But it seems that I was a long distance runner. I finished 2 Rath Open marathons when I was in India. Did not continue. I was in the top 25 runners. I may be looking like this, and I played Santosh Trophy in football. He just didn't believe. Because today I don't get time to do that, and I'm not as efficient as Modi ji to you yoga and all that. I'm a little inefficient because मैं ज़्यादा इसका काम करता हूँ और कभी चल लेता हूँ ऐसे ही. In Mumbai we have this, we get into train also. We leave our vehicles. So I traveled till 2007 in trains only, local trains only, and I love it even today whenever I get a chance. So those are the only ways in which you get fit. आपको सीढ़ियाँ चढ़नी पड़ेंगी, आपको ये करना पड़ेगा. Those are the ways. So ultimately we need to develop ourselves into more ground level persons. I think, many of us working together, if we can kill our ego, destroy it, and work together for a cause, if all of us can do something for the country, as Khandori ji has rightly said, बाहर भी मेरे को वही बोल रहे थे, अय्यर साहब, I saw something different today. कहते हैं कि अगर सब कुछ कर सकते हैं, because it's not time to, the blame game situation is over. Now we have to do something, either produce some documents, go, convince, and get it done. That's the time that's come for us. And the book is precisely an intent. I always say three things, sir, which I will repeat here. It is the IC square formula. Intent must be there. Then next, to deliver the intent, you must have the context. And the third part, most important part, is content. So intent, context, and content, the three elements will change the dynamics for every situation, whether it's the country, whether it's the individual, whether it is the organization, or whether it's a group of people, loose federation. क्योंकि हमारे NIT में ये होता था, यूनियन नहीं होती थी स्टूडेंट्स की, तो सारा लूज फेडरेशन होता था, 4 हॉस्टल होते थे, हर हॉस्टल में 350 बच्चे करीब हैं, 1000 बच्चे, तो एक दूसरे को मिलते कैसे से, सीटियां बजा के बुलाते थे रात को. अब मैं बताता हूँ, कोई प्रॉब्लम हो जाती थी हमारे यहाँ, रातों रात आधे घंटे में आउट ऑफ द 1000 500 विल बी ऑन द रोड विदाउट अ यूनियन, not allowed to make a union. So it was so powerful at REC, that time it was REC Kurukshetra. I studied from the Dharmakshetra. So I always consider this loose federation is more stronger than what you structure. Many times. It's very powerful, I tell you. And so many revolutions can be created through loose federations. And that's what we have seen also happening of late. But only thing is, after that loose federation achieves success, then it has to structure itself. But then it doesn't structure. दूसरे काम है अभी. If we take the examples of recent success of the Aam Aadmi Party and what they have ended up with, it is a very sorry state, now. You can't just destroy all your colleagues, it's not done. So ये बहुत बड़ा विडंबना हिस्ट्री का होगा कि मौका मिला और फिर क्या किया, So that type of thing. So I think both politics, organizations, now on the corporate sector, I want to talk about it. Recently, there was a major revamp of Tata Sky. I don't know whether it was felt here, but we felt a disastrous thing. The brand Tata, I used to consider. But what we experienced as a customer was horrific. They did not inform. They were doing some revamp. The cable, the DTH service was off for more than a week. They didn't apologize or say anything to customer. They pushed all their lines down. I'm telling you, not only this, people have, only the thing that changed them was Facebook. People went and posted. Then they started getting feeling that their brand is destroyed. It was destroyed already because they had switched off many homes. Mumbai, though, I tell you, all the homes in suburbs were not operating wherever they had DTH. And I'm telling you, they will not be able to recover because they have given that entire thing off to other operators already. To bring back that feeling that will be there. I cannot understand how people can operate like this. Another was the Tata Telecom service. When we trusted this brand name, today it has gone down. So even the best are not doing what they have to do. And then recent thing about the net access, which we have come. We just know the little part of the story because of AIB, right? But the hard story is scuttling the freedom of speech and expression in a different way. All these guys are going to TRAI and telling them that people will have to pay for access to Facebook, YouTube and everything. Now that people are fighting, and it is again the social media which is fighting this cause. So I mean to say the big revolution of social media is in. We discussed, Santoji, 20 crores already on that, out of the 120 crore. Television channel, 5.5 crores. So big opportunity. So we are on YouTube much before everybody came. We have those 200 videos on energy, infrastructure, economy, etc. over there. So, and we continue. This will also go after some time. So I mean to say, let's not wait for many crores and thousands to join. Let's create a movement. From these rooms, many movements will happen because I saw that the exposure of one corruption case in Bhutan, which was a BHL case which opened, had a huge impact on Bhutan and India because we could open the corruption and we were daring, no other media did it. So we stood for it and we stay there, and finally luckily Prime Minister has seen it. Our Prime Minister, because Prime Minister of Bhutan sacked 3 secretaries based on the inertia story, and they are under ACC investigation, Anti-Corruption Commission, which is equivalent to our CBI here. And it was in Indian media. I always call myself the cottage media, which did it, not the mass media. I'm a cottage media. I'm the small and medium enterprise media, but we don't get registration in this country for SME media. So I hope they start recognizing that there is a media SME also. मतलब large media जो क्या काम कर रही है उनका commitment unfortunately नहीं रह गया है. Commitment to money कि कल सुबह which anchor has to go, what she has to speak, and then whether that lady is even with you, you do not know, and you're forcing us to do everything on the surface which is of no consequence to this nation. So I hope those discussions change. I'm actually a little critical about my media colleagues because when a society falls, you cannot blame कि judges अब पुराने वाले नहीं रहे. You cannot say that the officers, IAS officers have gone down. This society itself comes down. Actually, everybody has to look within. Even media has come down. The fall is not at one place. The fall is everywhere. You say politician is corrupt. Who is a politician? One of us is going to become the politician here. Tomorrow we suddenly बोले नहीं अभी हम transform करने वाला है because I didn't see any good in it. And my friend always talks. My batchmate is here. Atul Jain. Atul one day यार कुछ करना चाहिए. We should get into politics. I will be very happy if Atul comes to politics and does something. But whether Atul will be able to follow, or even if any one of us goes and we go and follow there things, when we at least say कि मैं तो यार ये नहीं करूँगा. So some amount of honesty and integrity has to be there. And okay बोलेंगे नहीं यार मजबूरी है यहाँ ये इतने election में इतने पैसे लगते हैं इसमें ये होता है. I tell you the trend, because I am a grassroots guy, the trend in Maharashtra is deadly. I know of several people who have taken money, who have done everything, and they exactly decided not to vote for that guys who gave them money. And they either spoil the vote or vote for some other nondescript thing. So please be careful about the electorate, what it is doing today. It will not come and say, because they don't protest, so we label them as something else. See, this success over there, and whatever success, even Modi ji ka bhi success jo hua, उसमें electorate का बहुत बड़ा हाथ था. Electorate चाहती नहीं थी. They wanted change. अब सवाल ही नहीं उठता. हम grassroots में कह रहे थे कि यार पूरी दुनिया, and it was not, people have some kind of misgivings कि it was only BJP people who voted. अरे forget about it. It was the whole of India which woke up at that point of time and it decided that we will just change this regime. Be careful about the mandate. Just don't think, and that is precisely the reason I know the wisdom of Modi ji and his government, that they are not taking their work for granted. Because the power has been given, the same crowd, they want results. And sometimes today आजकल finicky है. People want result tomorrow morning. वो तो नहीं हो सकता ना, 10 साल तो थोड़ा खराब किया गया. लेकिन I think उनकी इच्छा को हम पुश ना करें. वो उनकी जिज्ञासा है, समझाया जाए. I think communication इतनी strong हो कि बताया जाए कहाँ फंस रहे हैं. और थोड़ा सा मैं इसमें I am a little bit disappointed with the power sector where Modi ji is the champion actually. And उसमें मैसेज नहीं दिया जा रहा है कि क्या काम हो रहा है. So that can be very devastating. A sector like, पता नहीं पहले last regime I tell you, they destroyed the power sector by keeping a minister who did nothing. I'm sorry, I'm taking his name, Sushil Kumar Shinde. That type of minister should not be there. मतलब इतनी खराब इंपॉर्टेंस दे रहे हैं आप अपनी पावर सेक्टर में, ऐसे लोगों को लगा रहे हैं. कुमार मंगल की बात करिए आपने, और फिर then what type of persons we have, and that type of influences have destroyed the sector beyond imagination, beyond repair. And then not only that, sir, CMDs of public sector units, they are not opening their mouths. The culture that they have brought in, and still the chaff is there inside, expecting a lot of things. Trying to challenge the position of the PSU chiefs. And PSU chiefs are fighting with them. I hope they don't go and poison your government, the current government, and then go and tell them कि भाई वही पुरानी चीज ले आए, फिर वो बात करप्शन की आ जाएगी, सारा मुद्दा खराब हो जाएगा. आज मीडिया बहुत चौकन्नी है, चाहे खराब भी है, मीडिया चौकन्नी बड़ी है. और वो जिस दिन निकालेगी कुछ नहीं कर पाएंगे, और निकलेगा तो बड़ी बुरी तरह से निकलेगा. इसलिए बहुत केयरफुल रहना है, पावर सेक्टर में केयरफुल रहना है, बहुत ही कॉशन के साथ काम करना है. क्योंकि द सक्सेस ऑफ मोदी जी वॉज पावर, वॉज वाटर. नेक्स्ट, पावर एंड वाटर रिजल्टेड इन बिग वर्क. आई टोल्ड यू अबाउट दोस 1.5 लाख चेक डैम. गुजरात की एग्रीकल्चर प्रोड्यूस नहीं थी. 14% ग्रोथ रेट हुआ 2010 if I'm not mistaken. 14% agricultural growth rate. Which place in the world has seen it? Of course, now it is stabilized to 10% average, which now a lot of people challenge, but I'm very happy. The man who actually challenged it was Bibek Dev Roy. He said, nahi, galat bol rahe, Gujarat sahi bol raha hai. Till Bibek Dev Roy wrote, all the people, there was media was just saying, no, this Gujarat model is all defunct and all that. And I also wrote a lot. Then we rewarded, we physically rewarded Gujarat,
So a lot of people are very angry. हर साल गुजरात को अवार्ड मिल जाता है. मैंने कहा वो मिलेगा और जिस दिन गुजरात अपने आप खड़ा हो जाएगा उस दिन हम किसी और को अवार्ड दे देंगे. हम खड़ा तो करें एक स्टेट यार, उसकी तैयारी तो करें. Today it is ready. Now there is nothing. Gujarat does not need any other sanction. So we are also finding other candidates whether they are coming. So Chhattisgarh आया इस साल at our awards it was Chhattisgarh. We gave the award. So those kind of things. Economy, I tell you, infrastructure. I tell you, fantastic. I tell you, the funny part is after all this, Maharashtra with a $280 billion GDP contribution is struggling because fiscal deficit of the state is upwards of 3 lakh crores. लंगड़ी टांग खेलेगा स्टेट और 2 लाख करोड़ आ जाएंगे तो luckily the chief minister is good, so I hope he follows some formula, the Modi route. But अभी भी एक मुसीबत उसमें है कि गुजरात is still not able to sell power to Maharashtra. Now that question will come because both the governments are same. Right? This question will definitely come. So with this, I think today I want Garg Sahab to give a few vision and wisdom because all this development, no, इसमें पैसा लगता है, फाइनेंस तो लगता है साहब. तो फाइनेंस कैसे आएगी, पैसे कहाँ से आएंगे, थोड़ा आप इस पे व्यू दीजिए. ब्रांड बनाने में पैसा कहाँ से आएगा? So Garg Sahab, your views on. Of course, I know that book की मैं इसलिए नहीं बोल रहा हूँ कि आपने पूरी पढ़ी नहीं होगी, लेकिन in general.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Professor Iyer. I will be very brief and to the point. I feel the projects build the nation, and the projects need the money. And the money that has been invested is the people's money, is our money. No nation has been built on the borrowed money. The nations are built, the projects are built with the money of the country, with the savings of the people, with the savings and of them, most important are the household savings and the rate of household saving, which decides the rate of capital formation and the funding that the banks and the public financial institutions can extend to the projects. This budget has been an enabling budget. It did not have much of the populism, but it did certain things very stealthily, but in the long term, is structural strengthening of the country. Impact may be felt after about a year or maybe more than that with a time lag, but the results are going to be sustainable and over a long period of time. While listening to the finance minister's speech, I heard a very small phrase at the end in the context of income tax statement of affairs. I asked a chartered accountant why finance minister had asked in his budget speech that they'll be asking in the next income tax return something on the statement of affairs. What are the implications? He said, नहीं कुछ नहीं, वो तो statement of affairs तो देती हैं, वो अभी भी income tax return में देते हैं. Now this yesterday's asking details, the financial year is already closed. The people have already spent the way they liked. Now they are asking, give details of your all the bank accounts that you hold, details of the money that you have withdrawn, your foreign visits, and a couple of other things, which when fully fed into the integrated financial system are going to generate a very good data on how the black money gets generated, gets spent, and gets recycled. Similarly, there was another issue in the project implementation, the EPC contracts. Today what is happening in most of the big industrial groups and the project entrepreneurs in India, every group has its own EPC company. And they award the contract to this EPC company and they present the bill to the financing institution or the consortium and get the payment done. There is a lender's engineer, but the stakes are so high, there is no physical and financial linking. That what is a financial expenditure and what is a physical progress. The net result is power sector with almost 6 lakh crores of bank credit, with about 88 projects stuck, and stuck in such a beautiful manner that they have shown the time and cost overrun of almost 40%, that is 140% of the original project cost, and the work on the ground is hardly 60%. And this time and cost overrun has also been being paid partly, and will be paid without caring whether the projects are completed or not. On the other hand, the lobby is pressing the government that if power projects are not built out, the banking system will collapse and the public funds will be at jeopardy. So the entire thrust is on how to restructure it all over the world. If there is something goes wrong in the industrial or the corporate entity, it is the equity which takes the haircut first, and the lender is assured. It is only in this blessed country where the Maybach and Phantom and Rolls-Royce of the promoter is intact, and it is only the public money and the public financial institution and the banks which take the haircut. Nobody goes bankrupt. He goes either to Sika or to some BIFR or to some third institution, or restructuring or restructuring, or a moratorium or a reduction in interest rate or a writing off of interest, and n number of things. This is something which needs to be checked and controlled. Nobody is going to come from outside. No money is going to come. No country has grown merely on the shoulder of FDI. China's progress, if you analyze the inflow of money and technology into China, it is Chinese NRIs spread across the world who have the major contribution in what is industrial China is today. In this budget, we do have a few very good empowerments and very good steps, like creating for the skill development, like creating that 20,000 crore funds for SMEs. And I wish that in the next budget, they have this sort of fund which can leverage that money for expansion and growth of the sectors almost in each sector. One of the examples is Power Finance Corporation. It was one corporation which was dedicated and set up for development of and funding of the power sector. On the same pattern, Water Resource Ministry wanted to promote or set up an Irrigation Finance Corporation, so that the irrigation could be provided at affordable prices across the country to all the farmers. It is 5 years today. The reference was made in the budget speech, and line entry was provided in the budget, but the tussle between who will control it, the Finance Ministry as a financial institution or the Water Resources Ministry, and 5 years down the line an MD was appointed who is sitting and drawing his salary without anything, and the project and the company has not seen the light of the day. So that's the fate of our budget speeches and the budget promises and the budget pronouncements. And on issues which are of national importance, which the Prime Minister knows, which everybody knows, that if this country has to progress, grow, develop, it is a farmer who is to be first taken care of, so that all the bellies are filled, everybody gets the food, and everybody gets a sleep that his tomorrow's food is assured. हिंदुस्तान में दो चीज सबसे जबरदस्त हैं, एक खाना और दूसरी महंगाई। मजदूर को, किसान को पेट भर खाना मिलता है, रात को चैन की नींद आती है. He works and works and works without looking back. But it is the inflation which breaks the backbone of the farmer, of the industrial labor, of the average worker. The persons who are the maximum generator of wealth are the worst hit from these two, because inflation means food becomes more expensive. This budget addresses the concerns of agriculture also. So to that extent, I feel it's enabling provisions, it's addressal of the industry and addressal of the agriculture, skill formation will go a long way. However, the Make in India, I do appreciate the idea, but I fail to understand how are they going to make in India without providing power to the industry. Whether it is large, whether it is small, the Make in India will remain a title and a slogan if we do not increase the power generation and distribution by almost 11 to 12% per year. Thank you.
ये कहिए तो बजट पे ही आ जाते हैं सीधा. I wanted to just give a few nuggets and then I'll open the house quickly for discussion, because अब ये आम आदमी या आम जनता बोलो, उनके लिए क्या है तो पहले वो देश के लिए क्या है पता चले तो आम जनता को कुछ मिले ना. See, one of the things is we only want to find out in most of our media channels and our friends कि how much tax rebate is given, what comes to my packet, what is disposable income. I do not think that this is such a simple question to be answered. Disposable income in the bottommost person's hand will only go through development economics. You voted for Modi ji on the basis of development, so ask for that. तो ये discussion media में नहीं आया. मतलब in the last few days I have not seen people, and it was very painful because our friend Jetli ji, this is the document, is not my document. It is a full document of the budget. It was the budget speech. There are many other documents available to us. First time I saw a ministry which has, what it has done, it has put what has been spent in the past and they have put all the documents and connected documents online. So if somebody takes the pain to go and read and analyze it, they can get everything what is there in the union budget. And this document was comprehensive because he was reading out from this precisely on that day. So before that, what happened, many economists met and we also wrote in Marconomy. We said, in fact, my view was at that point of time that physically for infrastructure financing, you have not to look at the fiscal deficit too much, because fiscal deficit was a pressure which was coming from our great Standard & Poor's and other financial institutions which wanted to do an India rating. We had written personally to the finance minister at that point in time. We had represented, we as media have written to him in black and white as Marconomy. Luckily for us, although he went on talking about fiscal deficit, but there was a lot of pressure cooker release, if you see inside, that about 70,000 crores was provided from the public sector institutions to the infrastructure sector. So this is not being discussed ki kitna public financing. In 1 year, 70,000 crores, that is not a singular budget. It is additional budget on top of what they will do. So central public sector enterprises have been pushed to give money to the infrastructure sector. Sir, am I right, sir? Correct, it's a documentary evidence which is there. So this is one portion of the union budget that must be read. Those paragraphs I am not telling you, the paper is there, people must go and have a look at what has been done. It's roughly 70,000 crores which is provided, and it says that more will be provided. So it is it's a direction given to the budget that the central public sectors will keep pushing funds for development of infrastructure into the country. So probably your irrigation, finance corporation, all this will come up, because I see this very clearly what you're saying is going to happen, because that direction is there in this budget. No other budget in the past did it, That is one example. Another is coming back to the fiscal deficit. Mostly people talk of fiscal deficit, but targeted reduction of fiscal deficits is not seen. The budget document has targeted the fiscal deficit reduction. It says this year 14-15, we are at 3.9%, 4.1%. Then they will go to 3.9. Then they will go to 3.5. And 2017-18, because this particular, always see it is political as well, unfortunately, because Modi ji's current this thing will be 2019, the mandate. So by 18, they want the fiscal deficit to be 3%, and I think it's a fair target. I think those who have tried to criticize कि भाई उन्होंने एक साल और ले लिया, I think it's fair, because, and then the rider in that story is not seen. The rider which I wrote, they are very clearly saying that this fiscal deficit target reduction, the allocation will go, whatever they save, will go towards infrastructure. That is the byline people have to read. कि ये जो fiscal deficit reduction हुआ वो गया किधर? So see the connect between what people like us said, how people, a group of economists went and pressurized the Niti Aayog, Arvind Pangaria, which is known to everybody, and what has come out. So it's very difficult for governments to do a balancing act, because this is basically, budgets are seen as income and expenditure statements of the governments. And that's the difference what Nani Palkiwala brought. He wanted to say, read the policy direction and a dimension in the budget. And I'm very sorry to say our media has now made it a simple exercise of expenditure and income of the government. फिर मुझे क्या मिला? Oh my God, yeah. Absolutely right. And you know, the Tambaku lobby was working very strongly. I don't want to name, there was an ex-minister involved in the Tambaku lobby. That Tambaku business that happened was not the work of this government. It came all the way from our Maharashtra, Gondia. So you know whom I pointed out, right? So if that lobby does not work for the Tendu leaf, everything will be over. And they are saying, भाई वो तेंदु किसानों का चला जाएगा. तेंदु किसानों कुछ नहीं जाएगा. उसको तेंदु की जगह कुछ और ग्रो करने को बोलो. In Maharashtra, I remember, I'm very surprised that how the sugar lobby continues to only fund sugar. What an inefficient sugar farming is being done in the state. Land is converted into barren desert because of that. Because sugar cane, what happens? You grow it, and 1 cycle, 2 cycle, 3 cycle without a crop, alternative crop cycle is not there. You only grow sugar cane. So the yield is coming down. The moment the yield comes down after 5th crop, I tell you, you cannot grow anything on your land unless you re-energize your land. Burn it, yeah, that's right. This situation, I tell you, and then there was a great chance from energy. One of my friend, Basavaraj Birajdar, who's an MTech from IIT, he has been devastated. So many cases he has faced because he went to support some 7,000 farmers on the other side of Karnataka and 7,000 in Maharashtra for Jatropha extract. They wanted to make biodiesel, and this man is so crazy, he was running his Indica V2005 on Jatropha fuel extract. So basically, this should have been the crop that should have been grown by the farmers. But the whole problem is, Jatropha, the definition is should grow in barren land. Obviously, Chodo is barren land. I remember the earlier minister, he was clever, Vilas Buttembar. Once I met him. He was from Vidarbha. He was in the Congress government only, and he was the MNRE minister before Farooq Abdullah ji. He said a very famous statement to me. He said, "Ayer sahab, हमारे यहाँ ना एक पौधा आता है, उसका नाम है बेशरम." मैंने कहा क्यों? कहते कहीं भी उग जाता है. मैंने कहा बहुत सही है. कहता है ये बेशरम पौधा है लेकिन बड़ा जबरदस्त है. मैंने कहा इसकी एक्सट्रैक्ट का जो है ना कैरेक्टरिस्टिक बिल्कुल जतरुफा जैसे है. तो हम कुछ रिसर्च कर रहे हैं. तो nobody has worked on that any further, I am telling you. And that grows throughout in the Vidarbha region. It is equivalent to Jatropha. So and we are very blessed as a country to get all this type of crop. But what it does is, it goes on barren land, it grows on wasteland. But what will happen? The sugar powerful barons will lose their position. And I don't want to further say what happens. It is also a caste war. Because the very poor, I would say literally the Dalit community would come up. Because if they come up and have money, वो तो आँख से आँख मिलाएंगे यार. This subtle politics even in an advanced state is going on, and we have destroyed the Jatropha crop in this country. And I'm telling you, not 15,000 farmers, 25,000 farmers have got together still. Not only under that man, now there are movement going on between Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, Chhattisgarh. They export this seed, and Malaysia makes the biodiesel and makes the big money, my friends. So sorry state, such a sorry state. And I'm sorry, Mr. Sharad Pawar calls Modi in his place. He should stop this lobbying for only sugarcane. He should just stop at the end of his life to gain a little bit name in this, So this part is very important. Jatropha is India's game plan, and I would say biodiesel. Why only Jatropha? Find these besharams and all type of things that grow, and we are not taking care of them, So this is the opportunity of a lifetime. And one more which I said last time, which I want to say, with budget has taken care, 175 gigawatt of renewable energy, beginning end. The allocation is right in the union budget for 175 gigawatt of renewable energy. That says 100 gigawatt of solar. It also brings 60 gigawatt of wind, which is very powerful in this country, plus 10 gigawatt of bioenergy. It is actually, they said biomass, but I would call it bioenergy. And 5 gigawatt of small hydropower, which is very powerful. I tell you, the first time we gave a hit to, China was at Tawang. And it was done by my first boss, T.K. Modak, who is not here today. Modak was in Jyoti, and it was a Jyoti limited turbine which went and operated and delivered power like in Swadesh, our great Shah Rukh Khan was doing it. I wrote a story. Mohan Bhargav wins the National Hydropower Indian Award. सबने कहा यार सभी क्या लिखा कौन है मोहन भार्गव पिक्चर बहुतों ने देखी क्योंकि आशुतोष गोवारिकर he made the movie and they wanted to show me an uncut version at the Dimple Theatre. So Sunita was very friendly, his wife, and she said, "Here sir, you should come." मैंने कहा लेकिन मैं क्या करूं मैं तो टेक्निकल जर्नलिस्ट हूं आई एम मोर ऑफ द अदर मीडिया नहीं आप लिखेंगे so that was the story on the cover. Mohan Bhargav receives the National Hydropower Engineer Award. My own first boss in life, T.K. Modak, did in Tawang, and that was a slap on the face of China because we electrified Tawang at the highest altitude in those days. And those things continue to work, my friends. Those hydro plants continue to work. So that's why the SHP part, small hydropower part. So if we see that, first time budget pronounces, allocates, goes forward. So I hope this money goes in to the development because this is massive. It is like not $100 billion. Now we are talking here of something like 160 to 180 billion dollar worth of investment, in the budget. So that is there for that. And I will do a quick reading of what all has happened in this. One of the recognition the budget does is, while it says it wants to control the challenge of the fiscal deficit and it wants to affect the growth. Right now we said it's a $2 trillion GDP. And the growth rate was brought up at 7.4%, which everybody knows the figure for 2014-15. And it says that it will go to 8.5% for 15-16. It does not give a roadmap beyond that. But I'm telling you, we are coming to close to double-digit growth. We can expect between that 8 to 9%, which we will be the best economy if we do that. We will be growing better than China because China's economy will see overproduction coming in. It will come down now shortly. And then we will see a dip because they have got overcapacity in the manufacturing sector. And India is also building the Make in India and the manufacturing. So there will be a tug of war between us. 100% the war is going to come on the manufacturing side. So, and what is the challenge they said? The challenge is decline in manufacturing share to 17% of the GDP. So recognition is there. So connecting Make in India with this is there. Then these two things cannot happen without skilling India. So the paragraphs clearly say Make in India and skilling India will be brought together. So these are non-financial aspects of the budget which gives you policy dimension, which has been attempted in this because there is a problem. The government comes up with an economic survey before that and I don't think media and people even discuss the economic survey. So that problem is there. So instead of complaining, the finance minister attempted to put parcels of it into this, Then there is one very interesting fact. It says US dollar 340 billion of forex reserves were there, 55 billion were added. That is roughly from the time Modi's government came into power until the time. I'm telling you it's moving towards $100 billion, 400 billion right now. So that's the kind of thing, with the receivables we calculated, it's in the book. So the worth, and it's absolutely the highest, it's almost the same time like what Vajpayee did, So I'm giving you the indicators that give a chance for the economy. So globally everybody is in problem, so we need the US money. As I told you, the capital of US, which is an endowment, under the Ricardian principles. We see endowments are immobile assets. But I'm telling you that is the fallacy of the whole argument. Endowments are not immobile assets. First of all, our definition of immobility of endowments has to go out. It has to go out of the window into the Arabian Sea. It cannot be. The assets are, always endowments are movable. Like labor in India was a movable asset. It moved everywhere else and it can give benefit. Same way, capital of US is a movable asset. It is a movable asset. It can move to India, it can move to China, it can move anywhere. So it is for us to make our position investment attractive. So it is not going to be one idea. So there is a competitive and cooperative federalism model. So better we go to that extent that every state, chief minister behaves as a CEO and canvasses for investment in his or her state. So there will be more vibrant Gujarat type of summit, but I am saying that is not the key. The key is policy. If somebody comes in, the experience of having a one window clearance in reality and having least number of paperwork, so that this budget has addressed with an e-biz portal, through the Ministry of Corporate Affairs and ROC. So these structural changes are written clearly. I'm not getting into the physical changes, but I'm talking of the structural things that are lying in the budget, which people have just not paid heed to, Then clearly the budget connects with all these things, which is, I'm a little bit skeptical about Swachh Bharat, because my feeling is, unless the municipal corporations of the country, which are damn corrupt and grassroots third tier of the democracy is not connecting with people, I tell you, politically, we will not be able to correct things. So we have to bring, and Swachh Bharat, I am writing now next letter to Modi ji, saying that every municipal corporation chief must be put on the radar and must be put on the difficult task of ensuring that तूने क्या किया स्वच्छ भारत के लिए. सबसे हम अपने आप को, I will be told भाई आप आ जाओ स्वच्छ भारत में, मैं भी चला जाऊंगा, मैं भी थोड़ा झाड़ू लगा लूंगा, सब लगा लेंगे. इससे ज्यादा नहीं होगा. इससे ठीक है, मूड तो बन गया है, लोग अब कचरा फेंकने से. अब नेक्स्ट स्टेप है हमारे म्युनिसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन को चीफ्स है ना कंट्री के, इनको जरूर वी शुड गिव डंडा. आई एम टेलिंग यू, बिकॉज दे आर डूइंग पैथेटिक वर्क. They are destroying every city. They are making the same gutters, our corporators. These people have to be taken to task by the MLAs and the MPs. Because they are corrupt and they are threatening the people, I am telling you, locally. If anybody goes against them, they are going to take their pants off. And all Gundaism is going on. So we have to stop, whether it is Maharashtra, whether it is Gujarat, whether it is even the most developed states. We must go to the grassroots and ensure that municipal corporations deliver not only the Swachh Bharat, but also the digital India. It must be the responsible of the municipal corporations to deliver the digital India. So these are the things that can come probably in the next budget. We can see it. Then we have Skill India, and there was a very interesting portion called the Green India. That was related to renewables and energy and all that, and very nicely done in the budget actually. Green India mission लगाया उसको, बताया. Another point which I want to make here is, people say poor के लिए कुछ नहीं है, but most important, 2 crore urban housing and 4 crore rural housing. So mass housing for all by 2022, and in that paragraph is critical. They say not only mass houses, it is clean drinking water plus toilets and to be connected to the road. Critical. Remember, if this budget talks of 6 crore houses, totally in India today we have 1.1 crore houses. Our population is 125 crores. By simple thumb rule calculation, you need between 20 and 25 crores dwellings, not urban rural but dwellings. I don't want to call them shelter, because shelter में आप क्या करते हैं, छत प्रोवाइड करते हैं, हमारे झोपड़पट्टियां आती हैं. It's all, you end up slum development model, फिर बाद में redevelopment model, फिर बाद में माफिया. उसकी जगह हमें proper houses, और ये पहली बार बजट में पिच आया है, बड़ा अच्छा. And that means huge amount of business will happen. And remember, I hope the microfinance and bank institution give loans to these projects, because what will happen, finance will improve. The moment it comes, cement and steel will sell. Unless cement and steel sells, your economy is not going to come back. And if cement, steel, any other new building material, advanced building material will sell. So basically you need to go towards that. And when people live in dwelling, then they will consume electricity. Then their economic lifestyle will increase. Right? If they don't have anything on their head, what they will work for? If they don't have food to eat, what they are going to work for? Which country they are going to contribute for? So, bhuke bhajan no hoye gopala, it is said from the past, and it has to be brought here. You cannot ask your people to contribute without them being at least fundamentally comfortable with basics. So I think the budget is doing that. Then the insurance part, where there are 2 insurance deals. I don't want to go into it, everybody knows. At 12 rupees you get a complete life and accidental protection, and there is another policy which says 330 rupees. Basically that also you take, and then you get a combined protection of both life and your accidental insurance. So this kind of, for the poor people, this kind of support is good. And if they integrate with their bank accounts, which today is little flawed, because bank account to open ho gaya hai. The biggest problem, which probably Modi ji will come to know through some means, or I will have to send a letter, is that वो जो LPG की जो subsidy है, वो उन्हीं को नहीं मिलेगी, क्योंकि हुआ क्या था, those who don't have Aadhaar or anything, they opened those accounts. Now, the fundamental condition the oil companies are laying that if you have an Aadhaar card, then only will give you the subsidy. ये वाली बात चल रही है. So there are some flaws in this whole model. I'm not saying that everything is hunky-dory or bad, but here we have come to say everything is fine. But understand these kind of small structural problems exist in that. To implement it, implementation problem is there, Then there is a very interesting point which says 178,000 unconnected habitations by all weather roads, in which they say to achieve this, they need 1 lakh kilometer of roads which are under construction, plus another 1 lakh kilometer more to be sanctioned and built up. So see what is happening. After Vajpayee ji's golden quadrilateral, we are seeing the internal connect towards roads. So if this is implemented, I tell you, the village roads and others will improve. So there are directions in this budget. Then irrigating areas in acreage has to increase, and efficiency of irrigation and promotion of agro-based value-added produce, which is part of my book as well, where I say do a RELC, that is remote location of strategic infrastructure industry. For example, tomato is maximum in 3 or 4 districts in Karnataka. 70% of tomato comes from there. So why can't they make the puree and they make the sauce and all those factories move in there? So a model has to be brought in to do this so that value-added produce comes out and the farmer is not stuck with the middleman. इन मिडलमैन को देखें वो उसको कुछ नहीं देता, टमाटर फेंक देता है बेचारा, परेशान हो गया, देखो सड़क पे मार देता है, सुसाइड कर लेगा अगला. So कोई मतलब नहीं है उसका. So we need to go to a different model where we support, and here government intervention is essential. Without government intervention, we leave it to the private sector. I'm sorry, some of the private sector are sharks only. And these are not the private sector which are seeing on the up. These are different private sector. They are not even small and medium, they are dalals only, which unfortunately in India, in foreign country, the word, agent or this is a good word. But हमारे country में वो bad word बन गया है और हो भी गया in reality. तो इनसे इनके चुंगल से फंसाओ, मतलब फंसने से इनको बचाओ फार्मर्स को. दूसरा है महाराष्ट्र फार्मर who sells the onions, right? Find a means for storages, because in between the storages, and these storages have to run from solar energy and renewables. So this cold storage with solar and renewable financing is a very big area which can, I think, मोदी साहब 100 gigawatt solar करना चाहते हैं, वो 500 gigawatt हो जाएगा. तो अभी हम कह रहे थे 50 भी नहीं होगा, लेकिन ये दूसरा ही मॉडल हो सकता है. If we go to grain storage houses and other things coming in, this is there, Then a lot of allocation for Northeast, so I'm not going in detail because a lot of focus has been put on the Northeast infrastructure, and Arunachal has been given focus. But the next step I would feel Modi ji would do right if Yogendra Prasad ji ka jo baat hua hai, let us develop India. 150 gigawatt of hydropower potential of Arunachal Pradesh can completely make India the richest country in the world, not only in the region. I'm telling you, in Bhutan, what is happening, that right now with just 1450 megawatt, it's actually 146 something, the Bhutanese GDP is getting 12% contribution from hydropower. What India pays as tariff goes to them. But they are still very angry. They told me, hey, Professor, it's not okay. Because उन बेचारों को 10 साल में लोन रिटर्न करना पड़ता है. ठीक, उसके बीच में IDC बढ़ जाता है. हम कुछ प्रोजेक्ट को नहीं वो ठीक है सर, बहुत कम है, लेकिन काफी तकलीफ तो होगी. क्योंकि मीडिया में क्या होता है ना, सच्ची नहीं होगी तो भी आप प्रोजेक्ट करेगा. तो बड़ा सिंपल सोल्यूशन है उसका. What you do, you are giving now, Punjab National Bank has come up with a housing scheme which will go into 30 years with 85% financing. So we are doing this here. So हम अपने हाइड्रो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, हम छोटे देशों को हम हेल्प कर रहे हैं, बोल रहे हैं अपना नेबर है. हमारे तो सारे दुश्मन है सार्क रीजन में. नेपाल तो आपको ट्रस्ट ही नहीं करता, ठीक है. श्रीलंका आपके साथ रोज आनाकानी करता रहता है. पाकिस्तान को तो नाम ही नहीं लेना बेटर है, क्योंकि वो अब्दुल बसीद को बोला तुम्हारा कोयला बेचो यार. मैं बोलते बोलते रुक गया था. In Bombay, I told him, your coal is 184 billion tons, which is only next biggest deposit to mine. And what you have to do is, you have to just sell this coal and forget Kashmir. Meera Sanyal was looking at me like this, and he said, what did Abdul Basit do also very interesting? He held my hand. Ayyar Sahab, you should come to Pakistan, sir. आप बहुत सही कह रहे हैं. मैंने कहा, लेकिन मुझे आने दोगे? क्योंकि मेरी किताब में तो मैं कुछ जगह में बोल रहा हूँ, गालियां भी दे रहा हूँ तुम्हें, प्यार से. ठीक है, तो नहीं सर, यू मस्ट कम. बहुत वार्मथ. वो तो यार, मना, आई टेल यू, these guys, whatever they are in the front, personally they will be great. I tell you. But why they don't do? Because people say, no, they're controlled by military, no, all this is shit. You're controlled by nobody. You decide to come together, you forget about this, and though in their dream also, whatever they are talking of Kashmir, it will never go to them. They can forget about it. Because India, if one day, like Khanduri is saying, I'm saying clinical strike if India decides on the terrorist camps inside Kashmir Valley. It is occupied territory according to 1947. And by all international law, a clinical strike overnight by India, and the next day morning they come in, and then they tell to the world that we just destroyed those territory, this thing in disputed territory. I tell you, no power, including US, will ever interfere with it. That is the rider. The rider is because this is disputed territory. And this was India's territory. As far as India is concerned, it says it's territory. And if a clinical strike is made there, which power on the planet? This is what Indira did in 1971 when she separated Bangladesh. Whether that happened because it was not your territory. People will not remember this history. It is unfortunate. People blame, many times I'm seeing in many forums, people come up and unnecessarily blame Gandhiji and all that for this. Some kind of stuff goes on. Gandhiji never took a decision of division of India at all. He had left it to Sardar Patel. Go and read the history. And Sardar said, very famous statement, that if your body has some portion getting cancerous growth and it can become gangrene, you must chop it off. With that, the decision was made. It was Patel's decision because Gandhiji was in no position to do anything because he had gone to Bengal to stop the riots. From Bengal, he could not connect it because Bengal riots were going to spread to the country. Before he could go and connect, what happened? The dead bodies were coming across the border. And we also sent some train to Pakistan. All that we had done. Khushwant Singh's famous book is there, right? You must read. So we did all these things. Both the countries did, killed people, right? And you want one Mahatma Gandhi to do and control everything. And Nehruji was also to be, in this book I praised Nehruji also. But if we look at it, this whole situation was different because there no criticism, nothing. But that portion, the rioting and what happened was a two-nation theory. Even a three-nation was proposed. Ambedkarji was also talked to, but he didn't agree. And all that damage happened to India, right? But then that dispute continues until date. Kashmir can be discussed. But then, I'm telling you, development plan for Jammu and Kashmir is also big. Ladakh gets solar. Connectivity is coming. Infrastructure is coming. So, has it been neglected as a state in the physical dimension? No. We are spending. I get some experts, they say we should not spend anything more in those regions. I'm completely disagree with them. I feel what they are doing is right. And even some criticisms happened that why they should join the government here. What is the option? The first thing is to try to join the government, make the government, bring governance and do something. So I think the regime did the right thing to go with the current thing, and it will be for posterity to judge whether Mufti did the right thing or not, because he has to go with Modi ji's development plan. So all this is there. Then one more point, Rural Infrastructure Development Fund of NABARD, 15,000 crores were given for long-term rural credit. People say there is nothing for farm sector. So that's why I'm ending with this. I have a lot of things to say, we can interact later. But I am going to give this as the last point. Rupees 15,000 crore long-term rural credit, 45,000 crore short-term cooperative rural credit refinance fund, and another rupees 15,000 crore for short-term RRB refinance fund. These were part of the budget, RIDF. But plus the next para is very interesting. Rupees only fight between themselves. What have they contributed? We must ask these very organizations. See, they went to Vibrant Gujarat. This time pathetic, I tell you. In Vibrant Gujarat, after Modi ji gave the speech, which was the best, and the Bhutanese Prime Minister gave the speech, that one day you leave. I went and told Pandyanji, sir, it was pathetic. There was no way to get food. There was no toilet. There is nowhere to reach. ये सब एड्रेस करेंगे, मोदी जी के कान में जाएगा तो ये सीधे होंगे. So because we need these investment summits, we need them to be world class. अब वो बेचारे लेके गए उनको हैनोवर समिट दिखाने के लिए, वो आ जाएंगे, देखो दूसरे दिन उनका काम खत्म. कोई भी आदमी स्टॉल पे नहीं है, कोई सीओ नहीं है, सब अगली फ्लाइट लेके मोदी जी का वापस आ गए. भाई तुम्हारा प्रधानमंत्री तुमको बोल रहा है वहां जाके काम करो, 8 दिन तुम मतलब जर्मनी एंड यूरोप को बताओ ना. ऑल आवर सीईओस हैव, सॉरी टू से, ब्लडी वेल रिटर्न बैक टू इंडिया. What is the job they are doing? They are going for some party or picnic. So we must address. I think Pangaria was tough on them some time back, very tough on our corporate world. So our corporate world has to play responsibilities. One generation they sacrificed, did business. For example, I always say the great Dhirubhai, he gets mentioned in my book, but none of the sons gets mentioned. Kya karega? The younger one I still have hope on. But I don't know whether I will ever mention Mukesh Ambani. He is squatting on an asset of gas. And it's known to everybody. He sold off his stuff at $7 billion. He's being left. I'm telling you, Modi ji will further punish him by another 7,000 crores. Last time we wrote an article of irresponsible corporate in the March issue. And then they were put up with 3,500 crores of penalty. So you will get further penalty if you do this. He is 100% squatted on the asset. And it's kind of ONGC that they did not take the daylight out of this man. He is the first asset squatter. और मुझे वही डर लग रहा है कि 2 लाख करोड़ जो हम कह रहे हैं ना कोल से निकलेगा, कोयले से, हमने 2 गलतियां कर दी हैं. The spectrum has been sold at highest price. Coal has been sold at highest price. Tariff, I am assuring you, my friends, will be 12 to 13 rupees coming out of the plant, and we will see 20 rupees power from coal. And I think budget is very clever. It only says 20,000 megawatt of UMPP. I think it's so clever, it is only talked about 20,000 megawatt of UMPP. Why? अल्ट्रा मेगा पावर में 4 मैन्युफैक्चरर्स आ गए, कह 20,000 मेगावाट. सर कुछ समझ में आ रही है ना बात? तो इसीलिए उनको होप नहीं है. आपके इस पे होप है सर, हाइड्रो पे जरूर आएंगे, सुभांशुरी जरूर आएगी. मैं देख रहा हूं उसकी डायरेक्शन. आई एम वेरी थैंकफुल दैट दिस बजट डिड नॉट टॉक टू मच ऑफ कोल. इट वाज टॉकिंग ऑफ क्लाइमेट चेंज. वो बिल्कुल पहला है. एंड आई विल टेल यू, फॉर्चुनेटली I think if anybody had heard him in the last 1 month, which was not portrayed by media properly, he said without electricity and energy, this country cannot grow. Modi had come to that same statement that we are discussing. We have discussed in every forum here, right? So if the chief is saying that and the rest do not follow, I think something should be drastically done to them. And it cannot be left to Mr. Narendra Modi or Mr. Jaitley, who has done the great budget, excellent budget he has done. These two gentlemen have done good job. I think all the other ministers need to perform as well. And that is the duty of each citizen, to not say, yes, minister. They say, no, minister, we don't agree with you. With that, I wish to call our friends from NDIM to take this forward on giving input on the union budget, and we'll continue to talk on this. A lot of stuff is there. This is a very positive time of the Indian economy.
Good afternoon, esteemed guest here. I, on behalf of NDIM, would like to take this opportunity to discuss about budget. However, I just want to let you know that we've not analyzed it. Like he said, we are only touching the tip of the berg right now. The budget is so huge, so we're just trying to understand as to where we are going, at least from here ahead. Announced in the backdrop of strong domestic macroeconomic fundamentals and soaring expectations from the new regime, the Budget 2015 is a fine, inclusive balancing act. The finance minister has come out with a pragmatic budget which is directionally focused at achieving growth and keeping the fiscal prudence in the mind. The focus is on ease of doing business in India and increased infrastructure expenditure in tune with the PM's Make in India slogan. The annual budget has offered the Modi government an opportunity to change the economic environment and project both the world outside and to Indian national ourselves that India means business. The budget has a significant amount of growth multipliers embedded in the announcement through a sharper focus on expenditure and understanding of realities of the rural India. The budget lay focus on the public investment, which will have a larger spillover effect if implemented effectively. Despite pressures on the physical consolidation, enough room has been created for infrastructure spending through government's own resources, as well as nudging the PSUs to invest more. Now, while we are analyzing the budget, a couple of questions needs to be answered. Is the physical arithmetic credible? What we're targeting, is it the right thing? So if we see the physical consolidation that we're targeting for 2015-16 is 3.9% of the GDP, as compared to 4.1% as compared to the last year. The recommendations done by the Finance Commission was 3.6%. Now, looking at these figures, I feel Arun Jaitley has become very realistic in giving us these targets. One reason, the government has given more resources to the state, and this will put a lot of constraints on the central government's resources. Also, the government has put a massive thrust on capital spending, which will lead to improve the productive potential for our country. Looking at these figures, now let's see whether these figures add up to something. 3.9%, very well, the amount that needs to be spent on the capital infrastructure, but where is the money coming from, like he asked? A lot of this money, if I see, is going to come from the saving in the oil subsidy and hike in the excise duties on petrol and diesel. It has enabled the government to invest heavily in the infrastructure and still maintain the fiscal deficit at 3.9%. Looking few of the facts, excise duty on petrol and diesel will be about 780 billion rupees of saving, and saving in petrol subsidy over the last year has been 267 billion. So if I add it up, it's about 1,047 billion, which is close to about 0.74% of my GDP. Even the tax regime looks very impressive. However, where I feel the gap is going to be is basically my capital receipts, which is my disinvestment. Government has made a very ambitious target of 695 billion rupees through disinvestment. If all goes well, fantastic. But over the past years, as we've seen, we never reach our targets. So the point is, if I only look at the past year's trend and I see even this year, we look at the same trends, we will still end up at 4.1% of our fiscal deficit. So very aggressive, but as long as we implement, that becomes the next question. The budget has given us a clear roadmap for futuristic tax regime of lower corporate rates, phasing out exemptions over the next 4 years, and forums an era of transparent tax regime. The increase in the service tax from 12.36% to 14% is basically a precursor for introduction of the GST. Finally, when GST comes down to 16%, they don't want a sharp increase from 12.36 to 16%. So basically, what we analyze that this is a step forward that we as individuals, as nationals, do not feel the pinch. The super rich, in fact, will have to cough up more taxes as enhanced surcharge of 2%. Looking at some more facts, the super rich is supposed to increase, the tax has increased from 33.99% to 34.6%. The gross tax to GDP ratio initially increases marginally from 9.9% to 10.2% in 2015-16. What is important is the tax buoyancy of 1.4% as compared to the 0.9% in 2014 and 15. Looking at the infrastructure now, Mr. Jaitley announced an investment of infrastructure to go up by 70,000 crores, as the professor mentioned. He also announced the setting up of the National Investment Infrastructure Fund, which will ensure an annual budgetary flow of 200 crores. He has also proposed to permit the tax-free infrastructure bond for road and railway sector, where large implements are going to be planned. The budget has also reiterated the fact that the government's intention is to revisit your public-private partnership, the PPP model. The public investment infrastructure will create a crowding in effect from the private investment. The road, rail, and the ports would benefit from the positive economic outlook facilitated by enhanced investment in infrastructure, focus on improving rural India, and the ease of doing business. Now, looking at some point of physical federalism. Physical federalism provides a greater power to states and enables their local capability to build an efficient use of resources. The power comes from the higher resources and the flexibility in utilizing the resources at the state level. The current budget is in the right direction if we look into it. The state's share has moved up from 32% to 42%. The money will help the state design, implement, finance programs according to the specific need. In addition to the higher tax devolution, will also employ that any buoyancy in the tax collection will also benefit the state. Debt market. The proposal of the establishment of the Public Debt Management Agency for the government borrowing is expected to facilitate better planning and management of domestic and foreign borrowing for the center. This will also reduce the operational burden on RBI and will help them focus on core functions like the monetary policy. Thank you.
I'm very thankful to NDIM, who are our partners, co-organizers today, and this team of Mr. Soumitra Mukherjee, NDIM, and Shagun Arora. They have made this analysis, but anybody can interact, and we can go out for everybody because we stretched a little bit too much today. And I think, it's fine, but because we had a great guest today, and we had the right atmosphere to discuss everything that is happening to the economy. Yes, sir, yes. Yes, sir, sure.
It's about to in fact.
Oh, very good.
If I had to ask you one question,
Haji.
how would you describe yourself? Because today I've seen so much of yours around here that I'm totally exhausted.
Oh my God.
When you would call yourself as an entrepreneur, as a painter, as an intellectual,
All in one.
where do you get the sense of humor from?
I tell you,
I want to thank Santoshi over here for giving this invitation here. I was to go to Bombay.
right.
And I cancelled because of him. And when I cancelled this, my wife wanted to come because she is so much into agriculture and all those things in Kolhapur. So we thought together, coming here, and this is one thing which I wanted to know. And how would you describe yourself?
I only know.
Word or one line?
I tell you, I will actually borrow from Vivekananda. And I'll tell you what it is. It's a very interesting statement. He said, my countrymen will be given ditch water to drink when perennial sources of rivers will be flowing past. And this is the fear with which I am working. But I have no fear myself. So fearlessly I am working that this does not happen.
No. You both got to give me in one line. Just one line. Don't force me this to be Vivekananda.
Then I am a human being. What else? Who thinks?
Nice. I'm really enjoyed.
And aware you would be.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
3, 2, 1.
Drop the bomb.